Why do some people with a higher IQ look dumb? The more you know, the dumber you sound to stupid people, or the more you make people uncomfortable. This is so perfect. For the time that you look at this image, you don't know if it's a boy and a girl, or a girl and a girl, a boy and a boy, a black man, white girl, a white man and an Asian girl. You know nothing. Just the simplicity of the connection and the beauty of two human beings sharing love, and that's all that should ever matter. False. The external occipital protuberance on the right skull is much more pronounced, indicating that it is male, while on the left it is female. Also, both skulls have undulating jawbones, mostly ascribed to Caucasians or Africans. The back of the lower jaw is flatter on the left, meaning that the owner is most likely Caucasian. Unfortunately, the edge of the jaw is obscured on the right, making it harder to distinguish. Of course, all this data is imprecise, but it paints a picture of a straight, non-Asian couple, most likely both white. Nice idea, though. You know, I don't trust anybody that looks at skulls like this. They always seem to be portrayed in a very particular way in media, don't they? 19-year-old girl takes pride in not being able to socialize with people in her age group. When you get along better with the 35-plus-year-old chemists and PhDs than with the 25-plus-year-old party-goers? That's great. That's super cool. Look, if that's how you want to live, then I don't care. Why would it matter, you know? I guess at the end of the day, the big problem is always going to come back to you looking down on other people. There's nothing wrong with getting along with the 35-plus-year-old chemists and PhDs, but I know damn well when you're talking about the 25-plus-year-old partygoers, you're like, yeah, they're the losers. I don't want to hang out with them anyway. They never picked me for kickball. Guy I went to high school with. He also says he plans to run for president. He isn't joking. I live my life 500 miles at a time. No more, no less. I'm focused on my destination and think about the future. I'm a really complex and interesting person. Dude, if you're gonna run for president, you can't be posting cringe, okay? You have to wait until after you're in office to post cringe. You see, that's the rule once you make it. I can't wait to see if this dude ever actually tries. I don't really know I know that there's, age requirements and stuff like that, but I'd like to see whoever this is, so I can absolutely give them my vote. Reddit user flaunts his intelligence and superiority in his bio. I bet. I'm a software developer and a PhD in physics. I'm here primarily for fun and knowledge. One thing to know about me is that I'm nice only with nice and smart people. Given that lots of stupid people are out there, I'm not generally a nice person. I don't have the will to win people around, unless they're valuable and have contributed to this world positively. If you're not one of those, I very likely won't have the will to play it nice with you unless you play it very nice with me. It's just a really long way of saying, hey, if you're a jerk, I'm gonna be a jerk. Because you can just say that. But no, you wanted to purple prose this up, didn't you? You wanted to sound so much smarter and better than other people. Art critic fails to understand the point of an artwork. All right, hold on, let's see here. Let me take a look at this picture really quick. That's actually just a really good piece of art. I like it a lot. I can definitely, what's the word? Empathize? Sympathize? I get it. That's what I'm saying. I get it. I've been there. One of the worst drawings I've seen for understanding how light patterns from an area, the monitor. The spread is typical of a point source with enclosing shade, and even then the shadow of her head is ludicrous. Physics of light is part of communicative drawing and painting. These understandings emerged early in the Renaissance. Keep up? Man, imagine thinking you're an art critic and you take everything either literally or you look at it from a realistic perspective. Dude, that's so boring, okay? Grow up, dude. I regret that some of the women who could break my heart are women who can't sustain/initiate a conversation on black holes, Marxism, behavioral economics, criminology, smart agriculture, literary criticism, number theory, poison? No, that's not right. Distribution, etc. What a wasted youth. You sound very sad. Dude, look, anybody can talk about this crap. Anybody. Look, we'll start a conversation about black holes right now. I think they teleport you to the back rooms. All right, let's go. What makes you special? What makes me special? I'm 5'11", taller than most Indian guys. I'm 17 and own an iPhone 12 Pro. I have a PS5 as well as a gaming PC, Core i9 RTX 3090. I live in the United States of America, LA to be precise. Yeah, that makes you real special. My ex-girlfriends have all been white, something I'm proud of. That feels really weird. I'm an intellectual, okay? I think I'm a mix between alpha and sigma male. Smalpha, algma, algma. I like that one. A lone wolf type, but very outgoing too. I'm working out to be more muscular at just 17 years of age. Most kids of my age watch Friends and I read Feynman lectures and watch more intellectual shows. I don't use garbage like Facebook, Twitter, or Reddit. Where is this posted? I only use Quora, LinkedIn, etc. Keep up your... So is this on LinkedIn? Because this is frickin' great. I like Italian food over Indian. I want to become a billionaire. Biggest life goal. Most of my friends are into middle-wage jobs. Dream higher and bigger, fellas. I like physics, maths, astronomy, over low IQ subjects like arts. Ooh. Someone wasn't creative enough to get into art schools. It's boring as hell and doesn't make use of the brain one bit. Are you high? I'm a budding polymath and polyglot. I'm pretty fair-skinned too. Why do you keep pointing stuff like that out? I prefer relationships over hookups, as I've tried them both. Oh, I'm so sure you have, for certain. You had to throw in the, by the way, I have had sex right at the end. That's what he's doing. Cute Japanese girl, thanks for the likes, please follow me. It's not only enough to be cute. I want to read intellectually stimulating posts when I'm on Twitter, with important messages and so forth. You want what? You come to Twitter for stimulating posts, like intellectually stimulating? I would kill to see this guy's likes. No, really, I want to know what kind of garbage they like. I'm sure there's a few, like, weird propagandic tweets sprinkled around a crap ton of hentai. I'm a biochemist, and I'm not impressed. Where's the vitamin K and folate? Never mind everything else. K stops bleeding. Why aren't they in a multivitamin? Bleeding people, kind of important. Where's the missing 33%? Vitamin C, you know, anti-cancer? Never mind the other missing stuff. You're a biochemist, and you just called vitamin C anti-cancer? So something here is not really adding up. What architect designed the glass pyramid in the courtyard of the Louvre? Philip Johnson? Frank Gehry? Two names I can't really pronounce? I know that the average American is very uneducated and pretty stupid, but these $250,000 and $500,000 questions would be below $1,000 in the UK. Did you know the answer? No. Stop the video before the because I've seen this video. This dude's a G, okay? But did you know the answer, pal? This man's dating profile states he values intelligence. Intelligence. I can name all of the presidents backwards. I can name all current U.S. Supreme Court justices. Oh, wow, because there's like 2 of them? All retired and living U.S. Supreme Court justices, plus a good number of U.S. Supreme Court justices from history. Can you stop saying U.S. Supreme Court justices, please? I can name all of the Super Bowl winners backwards. I can name all of the British prime ministers from World War II to today. I watch Jeopardy, and, the hell does that stand for? Chase, split second, and tug of words. I'm a knowledge/information sponge. But you sound so sad. I mean, really, you can name names. You're smarter than the rest of us for sure. That's just knowledge for knowledge's sake. That's just trivia knowledge. How does that help you learn? How does knowing all the Supreme Court justices or every president backwards really mean anything in terms of intelligence? That just means that you can memorize a bunch of names. Like with me, almost every time an actor pops up on screen in a movie, I know who they are. Almost. Plenty that I can't name for sure, or I forget because I'm stupid. But that doesn't help me in any way. It doesn't mean I'm smart. It means I'm on the spectrum and I'm really good at going, it's Daniel Day-Lewis, I knew it! It's been 7 days. 7 days of learning Python, and I find it hard. My IQ is 126, and I know I'm a genius. However, coding is still a challenge to me. Should I quit or persevere? Isn't Python, recommended as a really good starting point? Easier to learn, harder to master sort of thing? Or was I told the wrong thing? Because I got into it for a tiny bit. About an hour, yeah. And everyone said, yeah, start with Python. That's the easiest one to start with. Other brilliant man rare, and other humble enough to learn what you teach. Young kings, there's a price to pay for being a winner. At the highest echelon of brilliance, you can only be friends with 2 kinds of people. Other brilliant men, rare. Those humble enough to learn as you teach. Anyone else will turn on you, sooner or later. What? Stop trying to sound smart. It gets very confusing. Agreed. This is my most frequent reaction to performative outrage. I have a statistics degree, practicing the pathos side of reasoning used in the humanities. Emotion argumentation is ridiculous to point of parody, begging for satire. We cannot tell what's real or comedy any longer. Will you quit using big words like it makes it seem smarter? I know that's the most common thing to do. Break out the thesaurus, or rather the website, because who uses the book? I mean, come on. Break it out, and then just filter in a bunch of stupid words. Emotion argumentation is ridiculous to point of parody. Argumentation? What?
Practicing the pathos side of reasoning used in the humanities.
Just stop it. Just stop it. I literally learned Japanese just from anime. It's really easy to learn if you listen to it. I'm just kind of a genius, I guess. You need to prove that you learned Japanese from anime. And I'm not talking about, say, sugoi or nani. I want you to actually speak to someone who knows how to speak the language fluently, like a native, and then we can prove that you're full of crap. I don't know a single human being, no matter how genius, who has learned any language just from watching shows. No, come on, man. There's that dude on YouTube that does those videos where white guy surprises these people with their native language. I bet not even that guy could learn Japanese just from anime, and that dude is an insane genius. This is part of the reason I try to write with the amount of effort I do. It's far easier to understand by most metrics, along with the fact that it will be harder to see inherent flaws with how I write. Some people find it annoying when people write like they would a college essay, but I don't solicit that opinion anyway. Man, you actually have upvotes on this comment. It's kind of sad. Not that you put effort into a comment. I think everybody should and could be putting in a little bit more effort in their responses and comments and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to read an essay. I don't want to feel like I'm reading an essay, but this was a lot easier to read than some of the alternatives or some of the other things we've seen here on this channel, ain't that right? But you don't have to sound like such a douche when you do it. I personally think watching a game streamer is foolish, but to each their own. Entertainment is subjective. Whenever I try to comprehend the fractal abstractions of watching a person concealed by a fake personality and fake character overlay play a video game to a... That accent has changed like 9 times, by the way. I did like 40 different accents there. Okay, let me continue here. The fractal abstractions of watching a person concealed by a fake personality and fake character overlay play a video game to appease an unceasing waterfall of sentence fragments and emoji. My brain reboots. Did you really just use the phrase, comprehend the fractal abstractions? That doesn't mean anything. Remember, the average native English speaker does not talk like this. We don't say things like fractal abstractions. We don't do that. In all realness, in all realness with you, that doesn't mean a damn thing to any normal person. I am versed in the ways of the human mind. Before I liked this subreddit a lot, but then I entered the Faculty of Psychology and realized that its members lack quality as people, frustrated and projecting themselves on different people and practices or actions. This leads them to want to make fun of other people's pain and misfortune, shame and misery. Unpleasant people that I have no idea why they think they are superior to others. And I mean it. I have no idea. They all have the same respiratory system, and same digestive system. They're all the same. The only thing that changes is the shell and the masks that they create so exhaustively, so as not to look weak and mediocre. Okay, man. I farted. Thank you. We need more people like that guy out here. Love's like a cigarette. It's fun at first, but eventually it kills you. I'm 13, and this is deep. Okay, kid, I'm 16 and don't feel it's deep. Right now, quantum mechanics and string theory are deep for me. You don't know what either of those things are. I can almost guarantee it. The fulfillment of my dopamine receptors finds no equal to the profound satisfaction emanating from the consumption and introspection of striking specimens of philosophical literature. O. Edmund Husserl's phenomenology, sorry, I read that, phenomenology of habitually and habitus, you've rocked my bloody world. Again, none of that meant anything. That right there, by the way, what I just read, is how English sounds to people that can't speak it. You know what I mean?
The profound satisfaction emanating from the consumption and introspection of striking specimens of philosophical literature.
Watching a show clearly makes you smart with indispensable skills that can run a $30 billion public company. I love how we, the fans, were acknowledged as smart, discerning intellectuals. It's true. And I'm 100% certain that each of us knows it for a fact as well. You can only truly enjoy Succession if one is highly curious, highly capable of abstract thinking, and filling in so many... Oh my god. This is just... You have to have a very high IQ to enjoy Rick and Morty all over again. I'm so glad I never watched this show. Ironically, I find it limiting. It feels like I'm versed in the mundanity of life, and I'm still in my 20s. Very late 20s, mind you. Like, you're hearing the same joke over and over, and no one around you is tired of it. I have a friend who's not gifted, and the cycles he finds himself in are apparent to me, but still elicit the same vigor for him. I believe to be ignorant of your folly, in a dichotomous sense, is liberating. You can just start again tomorrow without being... That's great. Most mentally sane Discord user. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal. Harvard graduate, PhD, IQ of 138, the Stanford Binet, it doesn't matter. Sex pundit? What the hell does that mean? Cunning linguist, free-thinking alpha male, and lone wolf. Likely hotter than you, and definitely smarter. Debate me. I'm ready. Remember, people that are looking to debate like this are trying to do it in very bad faith, and it's literally impossible to win. Because they're not there to debate you. They're there to get you into a, oh, gotcha moment, so they can, win or whatever. Also, how can you be an alpha male and a lone wolf? I thought the Sigmas were the lone wolves. As someone who tested in the 99th percentile and higher for reading skills in school, it really put my frustration with other people's reading skills into perspective. I would notice a lot of my classmates would entirely skip over words when reading out loud or read the first few letters of a word and then guess what the rest of the word is. There'd end up being an enormous gap between what was on the page and what was read out loud, both in terms of content and overall meaning. It was dreadful and kind of frightening that people were getting passed along in school on their way to graduation with somewhere between a 4th and 8th grade reading level. Felt lucky, though, as I was reading at a 12th grade level or so by 5th grade. Same, but I don't go around saying that because it's weird. I'm very stupid, but the one thing that I could do really well, better than almost everybody I ran into in school, the one thing that I actually could do, yeah, that was reading. I could read and speak very well. Now, I leave a lot of my goof-ups in these videos now because I think it's kind of important that you guys know that I ain't perfect. I screw up reading these all the time, especially if it's something long like this. But damn it, that was the only thing I had. I'm not going to go around going, well, I'm reading at a college level and you're reading at a 9th grade level. You're stupid. Dude, no, I'm stupid. So is their IQ 150 or not? If you had an IQ over 150, would you tell anyone? No. What are the top 5 critical things that every young adult should know before they move out on their own? I don't know. How do people with IQs of 140 to 200 think from a social, intellectual, and practical point of view? I tested at 150 in high school. My parents showed this score to me and I decided to graduate early. You just decided to graduate early? Also, isn't the highest IQ ever recorded like 184 or something like that? So who the hell out there with a 200? Dude has a hissy fit about a minigun in a video game. First of all, it's a Maxim gun, not a Gatling, and especially not a minigun, which refers to a specific model chambered in 7.62 NATO rounds. Edit. Apologies, but pedanticism doesn't let that slide. First of all, that's not a Maxim gun, that's pixels on a screen. It cost you 400,000 downvotes to fire this little nugget of knowledge for 12 seconds. Also, I don't know why, I never see people talking about the minigun, but I was obsessed with that specific thing as a kid. Just to go off the rails for a moment, isn't it called that because it's literally a miniature version of the stupid cannon that they have to build a plane around? Guy shows off his big brain on a simple meme. Okay, cool. That's like very Giving Tree-esque in a way, I guess. We ourselves put mud on our heads by our senseless actions. Any quantum of advice proved futile. Our whole generation is an idiotic excuse for evolutionary theoretical Pedagogy? Wow, some of these words don't feel real. See, I said just a second ago that I was really good at reading and speaking aloud, and then I come across words like that and they ruin everything. That God was like, psych, or psych, pronounced as psych instead of psyche, I see, as in using psychology to psych out someone. Psych was always just a lazy spelling of spoken words by someone who didn't understand what they were hearing, like Master of Ceremony, MC, turning into MC in writing by people who didn't know what MC was. Cool, that is how slang works. Thank you very much for the lesson. She, her. Smarter than you in every way, an expert in advanced physics and multiple languages, the light in the darkness of ignorance that is this website. You can try to debate me, but I always win. Yeah, I wonder why. I just talked about that. Debate bros, including you, are not doing it in good faith in any way. You don't want to learn anything, you just want to win. Does feeding infants tea increase their IQ? Okay. I've been drinking tea since the age of 2. And I'm the smartest person I know of. That you know of? Are you high? I believe the caffeine in the tea increases a baby's brain activity and gets the synapses firing. This makes them smarter and more intelligent. I don't have any sources to prove it, but maybe some scientists could study this. When you're a baby, your brain is far more malleable than as an adult, so feeding babies tea/coffee could be a way to make them smarter. You're the smartest person that you know of, and you're suggesting we start feeding our infants black coffee. We are Magadonians. We are very smart. We stick together as one. We follow Truth Social. We put America first, and we will make America great again. Anybody want to take bets on who made this post? Anybody got any ideas? Because I'm coming up blank. This man thinks he's smarter, but he can't even type. I will do my best. You girls wanted the equal opportunities and obligations. Understand the offer to help can be resented. Your vibes is an answer. We don't have to tolerate your soul character accountabilities. As a respectable answer, soul actions is either attraction or that value of a cat's hairball in kitty litter. So done with female. I once valued females, then when they told me learn my worth and I measured theirs to how much they are hands-on life situations as me beside me and what test score that is school education-wise. Every kid you made and don't have that man is a grade level held back. Some of you don't even rank daycare. Even if that wasn't one of the worst run-on sentences I've ever seen in my life, there's no way you could make sense of this. What I found crazy is that things like gravity are just theories and not actual hard definition fact. To my understanding, some science is just theory. Most science uses the scientific method, which I guess you can test, but most things just end up being theories. Don't try to debate me on this because I know nothing like Jon Snow. What? I am one of the most intelligent attorneys and penetrating legal minds of this generation. What? I don't like that term at all. One of the what? With its main office located in... this is like a Black Ops. What is this? Prides himself on his vast intellectual abilities and his ability to become an expert in any field of the law in an extremely short time span. Often learning in 1 week. Doctrines that even experts in their respective fields fail to grasp. This feels weird. Is this in a... Oh, it's an ad. Coming soon, the Dip Law Firm. Although he doesn't understand coding, he's still a frickin' genius. Programming is easy. Programming is easy. I don't freaking understand any code. My IQ is 143, and yes, I am flexing. Sorry, you are not forgiven. Asking if he would have made it into Mensa as a kid. I, independently of anyone's influence, discovered the fundamental theorem of calculus when I was in the 3rd grade, though I didn't really understand its full magnitude. Shortly after, I had also independently discovered algebra in 2nd grade. If my parents had let me skip... Wait, what? Shortly after I had... Oh, I see what you're saying. It's just written stupid. If my parents had let me skip grades and didn't prioritize socialization, I would have skipped at least 4. I took an IQ test after I got a concussion that seriously affected my processing speed and still got a 130. I don't know, dude. Should have corrected her spelling mistakes to show that she isn't smart. Should have. It can be pronounced either way, but thanks for the consideration, much appreciated. You've got to be kidding. You should really check up on it. The way of English literature is really different from when I was in school. Sure, a lot of people will smash them together into what is called a contraction. Am I right on that? Should've, should have, not should of. Sure, when we speak fast, it doesn't matter. I know what you're saying, you know what I'm saying. However, when you spell it out, it's a little different. On a conversation about pride. I'm 6'3", train martial arts, and have an IQ measured at 156. I was born into a family with ties to German nobility. My last name starts with von. You expect me not to be proud? I walked the streets knowing that I could take most people out both physically and intellectually. Why would I consider myself their equal? Only slaves and inferior people seek equality because they know they can't compete. When you're truly excellent and full of vitality, you despise... what? Egalitarianism? Wow, that is not... I just made up that word. What I said was not what that word says. Don't know what it is. See? They keep throwing these stupid, big, smart people words at me and my dumb idiot brain can't comprehend no more. When a worm is stamped upon the ground, it curls up and makes itself small. There's your humility. When a lion is challenged, it goes straight for the neck. There's your pride. So are you racist or something? Because you are really giving off some nasty ass vibes. Talking about, why shouldn't I be proud? Why would I not be? Only slaves and inferiors seek equality. Yikes. Wonder why he's still looking at 45. Let's see. I'm a professional nuclear engineer. What's there more to say? 6 foot plus, 6 figures, 260 with a 34-inch waist. Am I checking all the boxes? I do not care what you are. I don't care what you make. Men don't see any of it anyway. I want a real woman. Another reason I'm on here. I want to know how many likes I get, given I'm 0.5% of the population in this country. What? Freshly harvested from a discussion about democracy not being good. What? People have very obviously become objectively stupid collectively. Sure, I only notice this because I have this strange ability to think critically, yet you're not using it now. How strange. You of tears? Oh, okay. How do I balance an obsession with academia and having normal friends? I find it very hard to be attracted to, become friends with, or sometimes just hold conversations with people who aren't extremely intelligent. I guess in some sense you'd use the term sapiosexual, and it's ruining my life. I get called pretentious a lot, but really I just refuse to dumb myself down for people and am proud of my intelligence. I'm a first-gen uni student. I want to change before coming to uni since it makes me feel elitist or rude at times, and I feel like I'm cutting out a huge population of great people I can learn from just because they don't seem intelligent enough when I first meet them. Well, at least you're taking the first step to not being a douche. As long as you actually take people's suggestions seriously. I can suggest an equation that has the potential to impact the future. E equals mc squared plus AI. This equation combines Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, which relates to energy, to mass, and the speed of light, with the addition of artificial intelligence. By including AI in the equation, it symbolizes the increasing role of artificial intelligence in shaping and transforming our future. This equation highlights the potential for AI to unlock new forms of energy, enhance scientific discoveries, and revolutionize various fields such as healthcare, transportation, and technology. What? Hot take. All monolinguals are the worst. Not simply English-speaking ones. Duolingo is free. Non-English monolinguals don't get a free pass for being monolinguals just because English speakers are the worst about their monolingualism. I have formerly studied Spanish, French, Russian, German, taught myself Swedish, and natively understand, is it Tamil? As well as have taught myself 7 programming languages. My largest issue is a lack of chances to practice, although I've recently decided I'll attempt Spanish fluency. Everyone should at least try to learn a second language, regardless of what their native language is. I do agree. At the very end, I do think everyone should at least try a little bit. That's why, high school still requires, or at least it did a decade ago when I graduated, that you take at least one second language, for I believe they required 1 full year, maybe 2 full years, I can't remember. All I know is I have studied Japanese, I have studied Spanish, I have learned a little bit of Finnish. I'm terrible, I can't retain anything, so I genuinely do wish that I was actually smart enough to fully learn another language. It would be super cool and incredibly useful, and I wouldn't seem like that dumb, super white guy that, probably refused to, when that's not the case. Alright? I'm just not smart enough to do that And thank you for making me feel worse about it. Their tests are a failure. I'm literally a certified genius. So tell me I didn't pass their cognitive test just means that they don't know how cognitive tests work. In short, almost the entire test is numerical math problems, the kind no one ever actually does in real life. Yes, there were some actual cognition questions, but very few. Just math, and more math. I have a disability related to reading numbers. But again, I'm a certified freaking genius, and reading numbers has nothing to do with critical thinking. Nothing. Sure. Everyone is smart in their own way. Like with me, I'm not. I'm like you though. I suck at numbers, dude. I'm so bad. The blue checks are at it again. This article is unreadable hate. This is truly the kind of razor-sharp analysis only $8 can provide. Inexpensive it may be at $8, the verity of authentication is unquestionable. One cannot discount the value of provocation to stir the dormant minds ensnared in the labyrinth of their own basement-dwelling existence. I'd willingly part with $200 knowing the chord it strikes. Damn, that sucks. You really yanked that off the shelf trying to make a tweet seem really, really smart. No, you're just embarrassed because you got the blue check mark and it symbolizes that, yeah, you are paying to look official. My unproven personnel theory explaining the Cambrian explosion is the development of the eye. Once the eye is developed, a processing arms race begins, whereby animals compete to better process and draw conclusions from the light entering the eye, as well as better and more capable eyes. Okay, but shouldn't your theory produce some falsifiable hypothesis? If it does, what are they? It's up to the theorist to take a stab at some of the falsifiable hypotheses that might follow from the postulated theory. Otherwise, it just sounds like you're saying, what if the Cambrian explosion worked exactly like the GPU/machine learning market has? I'm not suggesting that you're saying something so, is it facile? Doesn't matter. Just that your musings need more meat on their bones before earning a collective promotion to theory status. Theory status? There's no such thing as a status, dude. A theory is a theory. I have a theory that you're a dork. That hit theory status. Check that out, dude. I possess a quality that allows me to have both internal monologues and I can create an entire universe in my head and play out an entire story in short bursts of time using images and or energy. But then there are people who cannot hear themselves think. Fascinating. You want to be interesting so bad. Vision's not too good though. Those are words right there. Here's an educational meme I made. Hard to swallow pills. The average car does 17,000 times more damage than a cyclist, hence the minimal registration fees. Cyclers are safer riding on the street. Bike lanes help make roads safe for all. I have an IQ of 154, so use your words. Thank you. Okay, she's the kind of person whom if I explain the matter/energy equivalency proof, she would be like, I think most people would. Mainly because it's just you trying to be an asshole, trying to prove you're the smartest in the room while sounding like the dumbest. Not because we don't really know much about what the hell you're talking about. Even though I don't, I will admit. Oh no, this 18-wheeler's about to hit my car. Allow me to just gently nudge it out of the way with my body. 16-wheeler. Those triaxles on trailers are singles, not dualies. If they were dualies, it'd be a 22-wheeler. Facts. Edit. Then again, I'm not sure what the semi has for its own rear axle. That's not the point! Apparently, spending time on trick shots is only for the small-brained. Way too much time on their hands. Only a mere 35 hours for that card trick. You could see how happy he was when it finally worked. The stupidity and lack of mental complexity it takes to be excited by things like this is kind of annoying. You're kind of annoying. Go back to talking to no one, please.